Hi y'all. I've been waiting since Tuesday to update you on what's been going on with medical marijuana rule changes. And I pulled up the recent Arizona Court of Appeals ruling on concentrates in Arizona. No matter how many times I read it, it really doesn't make any sense. And I'm not a lawyer, and this is not to be considered legal advice of any kind. Or medical advice of any kind. Let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Laura. I have a rare medical condition. It is called varicose porphyria. Included with that is severe nausea and chronic severe pain. For me, there's low-level pain all the time, and then I have attacks. Last one was in November, where the pain is significant, and I use RSO. I also use RSO, which is Rick Simpson oil, or a very concentrated cannabis solution, which is the only thing that I have found that alleviates my pain. I have used pharmaceuticals in the past, and although they take the edge off the pain, the side effects usually are not worth the minor dent that they put in my pain levels. I usually don't show it online. I don't have a shirt covering it today, but I have a chest port, which I basically is an IV. I hook up an IV to this. I wear an IV to get treatment for my disorder while I'm sleeping. It's a real bizarre, I'm not going to go into the whole thing. It's a bizarre treatment for a bizarre disease, and I use cannabis when I'm not using pharmaceuticals, which I have not used in, I think we're coming up on 13 years now since I've needed pharmaceutical pain relief. So this affects me in that regular just flower cannabis isn't always beneficial to curb the medical condition for which I use my medical marijuana and for which I have a medical marijuana card. You can Google pain related to porphyria if you'd like. There's a pain doctor online that describes porphyrian pain as a combination of childbirth and broken bones. And that's kind of what it feels like to have porphyria. So, back to our current status in Arizona. I'm going to try and make this not terribly long. In 2013, a man was arrested with a half a gram of hashish, which can be purchased in a dispensary and often called concentrates. They call it shatter, they call it earwax, they call it wax, they call it crumble. Oh, I could go on. Also, these sorts of concentrates are what's used to make the vape pens that you see out there right now that are very popular and very convenient and non-smelly and great if you have to stay in a hotel and you need to medicate where you can't smoke. So, in 2013, Rodney was arrested with a half a gram of hashish. Nobody contests that. He was a card-carrying medical marijuana patient, and he was trying to appeal that conviction because he bought the half gram of hashish at a medical marijuana dispensary. I will add that while his early court cases were going on, he did not receive assistance from the medical marijuana industry. Basically, this is, I believe, the third, I could be wrong, time that this has gone before the courts to try and get a reversal on his conviction. He served 266 days for carrying on his person a legal medication for which he had a prescription and a license to have. So, what the argument is that hashish is not covered under the AMMA, the Arizona Medical Marijuana Act, which legalized medical marijuana in the state of Arizona. So up till now, you could go to a store, you could buy a vape cartridge to put on your battery, you could buy hashish, which we just call concentrates or shatter, in a way that, let's say me, personally, I would use concentrates on top of maybe regular flower cannabis to increase the effects when I'm having severe nausea. And my husband can attest to the fact that it comes and goes. I can go a month or two and be fine. I can wake up one day and be so nauseous I just retch for no apparent reason, just the scent of the air. So those days maybe concentrates will help where flower wouldn't. So I'm going to read one of the, to give you an idea of what the ruling in the Court of Appeals was, and it was 2-1. One of the opinions. Hashish is widely recognized as resin extracted from the marijuana plant. Cannabis is defined within the criminal code as, quote, the resin extracted from any part of a plant from the genus cannabis. And every compound, manufacture, salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of such plant, its seeds, and its possession is generally prohibited under Arizona's criminal code. So here is the key. Prohibited under Arizona's criminal code. The AMA protects qualifying patients from arrest for medical use of, quote, marijuana, as long as they're under their usable amount. Usable marijuana is defined as the dried flowers of the marijuana plant and any mixture or preparation thereof. See the confusion? So basically they're saying the AMMA, the Medical Marijuana Act that gives you your patient card, allows you to use marijuana and derivatives of marijuana in any mixture thereof. However, it does not eliminate the criminal code prohibition against cannabis, which they're saying is what hash is. So people call me, people have been calling me for the last couple days saying, I don't understand. And honestly, there's not anyone that is involved in cannabis advocacy or legalization or ending prohibition or just trying to help patients understand how to use the plant. We all know that marijuana is the slang term for the cannabis sativa plant and is not a different thing than cannabis. And we also know that cannabis does not mean the extracts from the cannabis plant. I can tell you, I used to trim cannabis back in the co-op days, and you'd spend a whole day with scissors and rubber gloves, and the flowers that you were trimming would be so sticky that we would take our gloves off after we were done trimming and put them in the freezer, and then pull the resin off and basically have a sort of raw hash. But it was just what you see, and I'm keeping this really scientific. It was basically the little orange hairs that you see on the flower buds would stick to our fingers, like lovely little balls of what? Sort of a raw hash. Some dare drive down my street so you can hear my dogs. So there's plenty of stuff online right now from actual legal experts and a local normal, as in National Organization for Marijuana Regulation and Legalization. Attorney Tom Dean has a couple videos out right now that you can find him in a lot of the cannabis Facebook pages. And I'm going to follow Tom Dean's advice myself personally. And concentrates of any kind until we are told otherwise are, in the eyes of the law, illegal. Being arrested with concentrates will in fact not be protected under the AMA. You can make your decisions. I'm still receiving text messages from the dispensaries for sales on concentrates. I don't know if they're offering a coupon for free get out of jail card if you happen to get pulled over. And again, I don't have a lot of interactions, or negative interactions, I should say, with the police department. So the odds of my having a negative interaction where my concentrates were located is slim to none. But I have, like I said, a serious medical condition. I have a nurse that comes to my house every week. I've had a chest port now for 14 years in my chest for 5 out of 7 days of the week. I don't think that'll play well in jail. I am not willing to risk my life, my family, my businesses, and my freedoms until this rule is clarified. And I would recommend that you also do your own research. You can pull this up online. It's got grease stains on it. It's been sitting on my table. Tear stains on the top of my appeal. Not really. It's not really tear stains. So yeah, I know this is run long. A lot of people just are upset. They're concerned. This affects children who are receiving the same RSO that I use for their seizures. It's heartbreaking to think, you know, people are going to have to look to the black market to find their illegal medication to save their children. There is no good answer for that. I find it cruel and unthinking and unkind that the people that created these laws and the people implementing them allowed this patient to purchase something in a store that has a state license. I guess it's just another reminder that until cannabis is decriminalized, there will be always that risk of using the cannabis plant. And as of Tuesday, with the ruling of the state of Arizona versus Rodney Christopher Jones, the landscape for cannabis patients needing their medicine has become a new challenge. Stay safe. Make your own butter at home. Make your own edibles at home. Don't travel with your vape pens. Don't take your concentrates. If you still have some from prior to Tuesday, don't take them. I wouldn't take them out of my house. And yeah, this could be the scaredy cat response. This could be the chicken shit answer to hide your shit. And I'm not caving. I will continue to advocate and call my representatives. But in the meantime, as always, I'm going to be that one by the book. I learned a long time ago, you can have a big mouth and not break the law, or you can be quiet and break the law. And you can be a big mouth and break the law. But I found that in cannabis, being an advocate and being outspoken and being out of the green closet, there's a responsibility to also be aware that not everybody likes that, and that you have to always err on the side of safety and following the laws as best you can. So that's my scoop on the current status of the rule change. It blows. And if you read through this stupid ruling, it's incredibly evident that they don't know anything about cannabis, the plant, or us patients who rely on them to have a clue. They just don't. On to the Supreme Court of Arizona, I guess. Thanks, guys. Stay safe.